Hello dear students, welcome back to your science classes. How are you all? I hope you all are healthy and doing well. So students, I'm your science educator and I'm again here with a new chapter number 13, heat, a form of energy. So today we are going to learn about heat and how we can use heat as an energy. So before starting this chapter, have a look on your learning objectives. So first of all, we have to learn heat is a form of energy. Then heat moves. Next, heat causes changes. Burning things produce heat and power. And in the last, we have temperature. So let's get started. Heat is a form of energy. Heat is a form of energy that raises the temperature of substance, making them feel hot. During winter, it is common experience to feel cold inside a house. However, when we step outside into the sunlight, we start to feel warm. For instance, if you hold your dog on your lap, you will notice that your lap becomes warm. The warmth is a result of heat transferring from the dog's body to your lap. So what we understand here, that heat means hotness. So when you play in the bright sunlight, right? So what you observe when you are in the ground, that you feel heat, you feel hot. So this hotness is referred as heat. First thing. Next, what we observe, that two things have interlinked. For example, your dog and your lap. What will happen here? There is an interaction between your dog's body and between your lap, and this interaction will result into warmth. Basically, what we understand here, that heat transfer from one body to another body. That is why when a dog sitting on our lap for a long time, so we feel warmth, right? Because the dog have feathers which have more hotness. Okay, so this is heat. Next, heat moves. For example, heat also have movements. Okay, let's understand this. Stands near a cozy fire on a cool day. Heat from the fire warms the air around you. The warm air makes you feel comfortable and warm. It is the movement of heat that makes you and things around you feel warmer. So what we understand here, in cold, in winter, what we do, we just light up the fire at one place, and if we stand towards it, so what will happen, the surrounding of it, the air of surround that surface is having hotness, it's having heatness. So this is basically the heat movement we have. For example, if we have one side, for example, you have your sun at afternoon timing. Okay, so what you observe, the loo, we basically say the loo, the air is warmer, it's not cold, it's not comfortable for you, it is warm. So the same process is happening when you blow. So the same process is happening with you at the time of winter when you fire and you sit in front of the fire, so you feel warmth by sitting at that. Okay, now heat causes things to feel warm. As we already know that heat is referred as hotness, or if something have hotness, so it gives us the feeling of warmth. So that is easy for you. Now try rubbing your hands together. The faster you rub, the more heat you feel. If you move your hands apart, the heat from your hands moves. It moves to cooler parts of your hands. It also moves into the air. So what we observe here, that as we already discussed, heat is basically the interaction between two objects, two humans, to any living organism basically. So this is our two hands. If we rub it fast, 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 fast. So what we observe, after some time in our hands, and when you feel it like this, so you feel warm. It means heat refers interaction between two things. And when you stop this interaction and stay away your both of hands from each other, so what you observe, that your palm will cooler its own. So what we understand here, heat is the result of interaction between two objects. That's it. Next, heat always move from warmer objects to cooler one. Means we cannot see heat move, but we can feel it. That we cannot see, oh my god, heat is moving their side. No, we only can feel, as we cannot see air, but we can feel that here is air. That's the simple concept which is interlinked with the air. Okay, next, heat causes change. Now how can we understand that heat causes change? One of the most and important and vital role which play heat, that you've made food, right? With the help of heat, when we can change the food processing. When some objects get warmer, they melt. Butter melts when it exposed to warmth. Butter and ice cream change when they melt. That is why we always keep butter and ice cream in refrigerator or in iceberg. So what we observe here, that we, with the help of heat, we can change the shape of any object. Not objects like your wooden box, but for example your ice cream melts, your butter melts. If you have your cold coffee, so it will get to warmer. It means heat makes changes, heat cause changes. Now heat can change object in different ways. Now we are going to understand how can heat change the object. Some objects may undergo changes with just a little heat, while others remain unaffected until exposed to high temperature. You may observe puddles filled with water during the rainy season. However, when the rain stops and the weather turns warm, the water begins to vanish from the puddles. This phenomena occurs because heat transforms the water into water vapor, a gaseous form that escapes into the air. This process is known as evaporation. So what we understand here, that heat will change objects in different way. For example, if we just take ice cream outside from the refrigerator, what we observe, it start melting. Same for the butter, right? Next thing what we observe, if we increases the temperature of heat, so wooden boxes also get changed. It converted itself into coal, right? What we observe, if the temperature, when the heat is increases, so any object changes itself in different ways. For example, ice cream start melting, butter start melting, wooden box catch the fire. So these are the examples. One of the examples we have, when it is a rainy season, so in rainy season what we observe, the collection of water in the puddle. After some time, when we have a bright sun, so this water get escape from that puddles. How is it possible? Because this is the process. This water form will convert it into gaseous form. This is called the process of evaporation. So with the help of acquired heat, the water will convert it into gaseous form, and this process is known as evaporation. Next, and it demonstrated how certain substance appear to disappear when heat is applied. It means some of the objects can disappear itself with the help of the heat. Okay, one of the example we have as your water. Now likewise when we heat ice, a solid, it turns into water, and when he heat water, a liquid, it transform into steam gas. So what we understand here, a solid, your ice, okay, it will be converted into water, which is a liquid, and this water will be converted into gas, okay, which is a gaseous form. So this is the formation we have with the help of heat, how we can change a single object into three different ways. Now, most things get larger when heat is added. So, how is it possible? When the air inside a balloon becomes warmer, it expands. The heat causes the air inside the balloon to take up more space, which in turn changes the size of the balloon. So, for this, you can observe it yourself. Make your hands like this and blow a. So, what you observe here, that the air which comes outside of your body, you observe it is warmer. So what we observe here, that the air comes outside our body, it is warmer, and when we fill this warmer air inside a balloon, so it's take more and more space. Okay, so it means that most of the things get larger when heat is indulged with it. Next we have burning things produce heat and water. How is it possible? Producing heat, when something burns, burning things produce heat and water. Producing heat, when something burns, it produces heat. The thing that is burned to produce heat, it's called fuel. So basically, for generating heat, we need a fuel. Okay, and the object we use to generate heat, that is referred as your fuels. For example, you have petrol. For example, you have kerosene. These are the examples we have to produce heat. We use different fuels to get heat: wood, coal, natural gas, LPG, CNG, and oil, kerosene, petrol, diesels are fuels. Fuels are used to heat homes and buildings. Cook food, and run vehicles. So, for example, if you don't have LPG gas in your home, so you cannot make your food. So this is a simple concept we have, that for generating heat we need fuels, and fuels we have kerosene, petrol, diesel, CNG, LPG, natural gases, coal, etc. and etc. Now we go forward, and these are the things you see in the pictures here. Now coal, minerals, oils, petrol and diesel, etc. and natural gas can be used to make electricity as well. So what we understand here, that three things we have: coal, petroleum or diesel, we can say coal, petrol, diesel and CNG means natural gases. These are the things which we use to generate electricity as well. Okay, next, some electrical appliances work on the principle of making heat. So we see so many things we have. The one of the example, you have heater which we use in winter season. So it is a production. What we do here, it is produce heat, and that is why we feel warm. So these are the things which we use to, we basically do our electric. We have electrical appliances, but further they result into the heat formation. So we have electric kettle, toaster, induction cooker, electric heater, and heat blower, microwave oven, geyser, iron, and hair dryer. These are the, if you ever dry your hairs with the help of a hair dryer, so you observe that hair dryer gives a warmth air, right? And just because of that warmth, our hair gets dry as soon as possible. Okay. Next, we have solar energy. The rays of the sun sends heat to the earth. This makes the object hot. This is why the ground feels hot when we walk barefoot on sunny days. Solar energy is used as solar cells and solar panels, which are used to convert sunshine into electricity. So what we understand here, we have solar energy, which is given by the sun. That is why in summer, if we walk barefoot on the ground, so we feel hotness, we feel warmth, right? So how we use this sunlight? Basically, this sunlight will use as the solar cells or solar panels. With the help of this sun energy, this sunlight will convert it into electricity, and that is referred as your solar energy. Next, we have temperature. So when we, for example, if you have fever, so what do the doctor say? That your temperature increases. So if we want to study about the heat, so temperature plays an important role here. Temperature is a measure of how hot or cold something is. A warm object has high temperature, or something that is cold has low temperature. Temperature can change. If an object gets hotter, its temperature gets higher. If an object gets colder, its temperature gets lower. So what we understand here, basically we need temperature to measure something which is cool and which is hot, right? Understood? Now, if we say hotter things, so it means temperature goes rise. So when somebody in anger, so what we say, अरे यार इसका तो temperature increase हो गया, right? So what we say, that the temperature increases, it means hotness, and if the temperature is lower, it means coldness. And to measure temperature, we use thermometer. A thermometer is used to measure how cold or hot something is. Doctors use clinical thermometers to measure the temperature of the body. So what we observe here, that we need a clinical temperature to measure the temperature of our body, and to measure different things, we have different kind of thermometers. With the help of that, we can measure the temperature of anything, and we can classify which is cold and which is hot. So students, this is the end of your chapter. I hope so you liked this chapter and understood it very well. Now I'm going to meet you in your next class. Till that, bye bye. Have a good day.